Hi, I'm Frank Korb. Today we're going to be working with an add-on through Google Spreadsheets, Google Sheets, called Autocrat. I'm going to start in Google Forms because that's where the data that I'm going to be working with gets entered. But you can also start in places like Google Slides, Google Docs, which is where in the end the data is going to go and be delivered to my students, your students, or name tags or anything like that. But we're going to start out today in Google Sheets because I need to set a few things up. So hopefully everything will go right today, and thanks for joining me. So in Google Sheets, I've had to go up to the word add-ons, and I have chosen, and I've already got this in my add-ons, Autocrat. So while I say we're going to start in Forms, this is where Autocrat happens. So it's Autocrat launch. We'll get there in a minute. So in Google Forms, I've built my form with a number of questions that I want my students to answer. In this case, it's automatically gathering their emails. So if I really wanted to, I could get rid of this. I'm going to leave it alone. Things like first name, last name, specific courses they're taking. All of this information is good for me because then I can organize them in my spreadsheet, and I can use it to speak with them in the document that they're going to get back. What block are they signed up for? Some open-ended questions like, what do you hope to learn and develop? What can I do to help you become more successful? What are you planning to do? And then finally, at the end of this form, I've got my rules and regulations. This is essentially my introduction to the class. At the top of my Google Forms, I've got my questions and my responses. What I need to do is set up my spreadsheet. In my first take on this, I sent out a whole bunch of emails that I didn't need to, so I've started from scratch. I'm going to create spreadsheets, creating a new spreadsheet, and this takes the title from this document. I'll go to Create, and it's linking to the spreadsheet, and so now we're in the spreadsheet. Notice that at the top of all of these is the same question that I had before. And this is great. These are my questions. It's word for word. Generally speaking, in something like Google Docs, I will use a word for word, but we'll get there in a minute. So then I'm going to go up to add-ons, and already Autocrat is loaded. If you don't have Autocrat in your Google toolbox, you can go to Get Add-ons and then type in the word Autocrat. I'm going to launch this. So I don't have any jobs set up right now, so I'm going to do a new job. And it's going to ask me a couple of times to title this. So I'll title it 2020, 2021, 2022 Student Information, Korb. You can title it whatever you want. I'll click on Next. Now I can choose my Google Slide. I can choose my template. And I've already got a document, Welcome to the Art Department from Online Form. You could also create an example. I like to have one that I've already got. So I'm going to Welcome to the Art Department from Online Form. I'm going to use this one. If you have a form that you've already built, you're welcome to do that. If you've got a template or an email or a note that you want to send out right away, you can do it from Drive. I'm going to use this one. So it's going to gather all the tags. The tags are something we're going to talk about a little bit later, and it uses the less than symbol and the greater than symbol inside of something like a Word document, or a Google document, or a Google Slides. And so we're going to come to that later. So welcome to the Art Department from Online Form. Next. This is where it's gathering the tags. So first name, it's already using the first name in the Google document, but it doesn't know where to grab the word art class or the tag art class from. So I'm going to map it to the column, what art course are you signed up for? So I'll click on that. And then the next one is skills and experiences. Somewhere in my letter, I've asked them, or I've commented on the skills and experiences they hope to gain. So what are 2 things you hope to learn and develop as skills or experiences in this class? I'll click on that one. Now all of my tags are mapped, and I'll click Next. So now it's going to ask me how I want to save this. I want to save this as, and I'm going to use the student's name in this case. So it's a welcome letter, so I'm going to do it as a first name. So I just clicked on it, and then Control V for paste. I'm going to open up that sidebar. Last name, I just click on it and it copies it. Paste. Welcome to Mr. Korb's classes. Okay, I want to save it to them as a PDF. They don't need to change anything, so I'm going to save it as a PDF. If you were to do something like setting this up so that they could go back in and edit it, then you would want to save it as a Google document. I'm going to save this in a multiple output mode. So every single time Autocrat runs, it's going to save a separate file. If I were doing something like creating name tags or something that a bunch of different people are going to get, but it's one body, then I might save it as a single output mode. It'll only save one document when you run it. So single output mode, next. I'm going to choose a destination folder. Now, it doesn't let me create folders here, but I'm going to see where I can save this. All merged documents will go into these folders. It's a good idea to have a specific place for it. So I'm going to go to Next. A dynamic folder reference. Now, if I had something specific like a yes or a no question, I could have all of the yeses go into this folder and all of the no's go into this folder. I'm not going to, so I'm going to skip Next. And this is also another thing, a merge condition. I can also not have Autocrat do anything to a row if it's a yes/no question. So I don't need conditions in mine, but if you've got, do you want a copy of this? Yes, then it will merge it. Do you want a copy of this? No, then it won't merge it. So there's a lot of things you can do with Autocrat that we just don't have time to go into. Share doc. Yes, I'm going to share this document with the email that they send me, but no, I don't want them to reshare it. I'm going to use my school email address when this goes out to my students. So when, so send from generic no reply address, no, I'm going to have them reply to mine. So I'll type in my email address. And then I want this to go to their email address. So again, I simply opened up this sidebar. I single-clicked on email address, closed the bar, and then typed it in here. Now type in subject. This is a welcome to the 2021-2022 art department. And then I'll type in a quick message. Dear, and this is again where I'm going to use this sidebar. First name, paste, comma. Oh. And I'll come back later and type this out later when I'm doing this for my students. Oh boy. All right, so I've got this set up. Next, run on form trigger. Yes, this allows me to, when the students hit or whoever hits submit at the end of the form, it's going to run it automatically. If I want to be the one in control of this, I'm going to say, no, I want to gather all of my data first, and then I will run it when I want to. So I'm going to click yes, run on form trigger. And if this is the first time you're doing this, it's going to have you confirm this. So I'll say yes. It's going to go through its own little thing. And run on time trigger would be if you wanted it to run once an hour, you could do that. Maybe you're gathering information from all over the world, but you don't want it to happen every minute that someone hits submit, so you could have it run every hour or every day or every 3 days. So I'll hit save. So this is the last thing in here is save. So I'll click on save. One primary or dynamic destination. Oh, so I made a mistake. So choose destination folder. I guess I got to choose a place for it to go. And now this has finished being built. Now we're going to go into the form and we're going to fill this out. So if I click on the eyeball of my form, I can go through and fill this out. Now let me show you what my document needs to look like. This is my welcome to the art department. So I've written a letter to all of my students. Dear first name, notice the less than signs, there's 2 of them, and then the greater than signs, there's 2 of them. This information, this tag, has to be exactly what Autocrat has associated with it. So make sure you're being consistent. I've got some links in here, and I'm looking for my skills and experiences. I hope that by the end of the semester you've been able to develop the skills or experiences, and then it's going to fill in what they had typed that you have hoped. And then at the end, I also have the class that they've signed up for in here somewhere. Welcome to the art class. Now, this is what my document looks like, and it's going to create a PDF, and it's going to insert all of their names. One of the most helpful things I figured out was that if I wanted to create labels for an art show, this is what mine looks like. I've set it up where my Google document is in 3 columns, and I've drawn a single cell. And what it's going to do when I hit play at the end of this, when I do my Autocrat merge, it's going to take every single row and it's going to create a new box with that information. So instead of hand typing everything, we can have our students hand type it either in a form that will then drop into a spreadsheet, or if we set up the spreadsheet, they can come in and type it on our computer. Probably better to use the form. So let me fill out my student information. This is where I did not change my information, so I'm going to type in my home, and I'll go through here to finish typing this out. And I do first name and last name separately so that I can organize the information. I am signed up for Art Foundations. I'm taking this block. I don't even know what that is. I hope to learn about metals and jump rings, because I'm not very good at that. Metals and jump rings. I want the teacher to give me all the attention, just like you are right now. And I am going to be there every day. And then at the end, I'm going to type my name to show that that I've read over my rules and instructions and I understand, and I'll hit submit form. Now in theory, once the student hits the submit, it'll go here and pop in to this spreadsheet. And in theory, and I say that because I'm not entirely sure if it's going to work. Excellent. It has merged the document, and if I go to my email, let's see if this worked. You could other thing we can do is we can look and see the document as it is. And I can open this up as a PDF. It's there. I know it's there. It worked. But this is what your students will get on their end. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns, obviously you can ask me. You can reach out to me at fjkorb@gmail.com. You can reach out to me at korbf@fortschools.org. The gmail.com is probably the safest bet. So I hope this works. It's a lot of trial and error, and just like a demonstration, it doesn't always work perfect the first time. So give it a shot. I hope this was helpful, and really, beyond this video, there's a lot of videos out there you can YouTube and search. So good luck to you, and have a great day. Bye.